Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at gacha games for 2023. Now, this list is huge. Took me ages to go through all my old stuff, talk to people, find out anything I've forgotten. I don't even know how many I've got here, but it is quite extensive. 2023 is looking absolutely sick for gacha games. Hopefully, everyone can find something throughout the year that they're going to have some fun with. Now, it is Christmas time, so we are going to do this one a giveaway. So we'll do a $100 giveaway in this video. Just be subscribed, leave a comment, and you go into the draw. I'm actually going away tomorrow for about a week and 2 days or something like that. But once I do get back from that, I will do the draw in a community post and all that stuff, and we'll get back into some content. But yeah, that pretty much covers it. So let's get into the games. Okay, so kicking it off with the first one, and this is in no particular order, but it's going to be Black Clover Mobile, Rise of the Wizard King. I played the whole beta of this for about 8 days and grinded it super hard. Absolutely loved this game. It's kind of like Seven Deadly Sins in like the animation and all that type of style, but it's more of a traditional style of turn-based combat, if that's what you're kind of looking for, and also has that open world exploration type stuff, but it's the same as Seven Deadly Sins. The actual combat is in the turn-based format. But honestly, absolutely love this game. They said not to make content, so I didn't make content, but plenty of other people did if you want to see some more content on the actual gameplay as it was in that first beta. But keep in mind, I definitely think some things will change from the beta because it was only 8 days. They were trying to let us do as much as we could. So I think that's why they didn't want content, but this game, sick, definitely one to look forward to. Next up is Seven Deadly Sins Origins. Now, I think this one's definitely worth a play. If you like Seven Deadly Sins IP, like, why not? I love it. I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. Got that Genshin Impact type feel, but due to the IP, I just feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun with this anyway. It does look pretty good from the trailers so far from what we've seen. The only bit of controversy I could see around this game is going to be that it is on Netmarble's crypto gaming website, which to me, I don't think the gameplay will be inhibited too much if they follow what they've done with some of their other games and just sort of don't butcher it. So hopefully it doesn't affect gameplay too much. But, if it's got crypto, the narrative of it is going to just, put a bad light on the game in general. We'll have to wait and see. I think nonetheless, I'm really looking forward to playing it. As you can see, it looks really solid. So not much more to be said. You can see it on screen. Definitely worth a shot in my opinion. Hopefully there's some end game. The problem with a lot of the open world games is the end game just doesn't feel there. So if they can make a good game with a good IP that has an end game, I'm 100% for it. Next up, we have Full Metal Alchemist Mobile. Now, this one's available in JP, so you can actually play it right now if you want to. It's a grid-based game. I played it very briefly, not for long at all on JP. Translation just gets too much. Now, it looks like a fighting game there, but it's going to be one of those grid-based RPGs where, you move your characters around a square grid, and then you attack the enemies, and then it goes into those cutscenes for the combat. Also has a bit of the exploration type feels, but the combat is going to be in that grid-based format, which is actually quite solid. All the animations are wicked. It's a great IP. Once again, even if you're not a big fan of the grid-based RPGs, I think it's worth jumping in and trying this one if you are a fan of Full Metal Alchemist, just because it's done really well, presented incredibly well, and just worth a shot in my opinion. Next up, we have Jujutsu Kaisen, the mobile game. Now, this one looks really, really nice. Assuming it's going to get like a JP release first, but wicked anime. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. And it's a really unique art style. I really do like this. I think it looks sick. It's a turn-based game. So we'll have to see how the combat ends up feeling and how the end game is. But in general, I think this one's definitely worth a go. I really like the art style. It's not as flashy as some games, but I just think it looks absolutely fantastic. So Jujutsu Kaisen, definitely one to watch out for in 2023. Then we jump into some Hoyoverse games. So the first one is going to be Honkai Star Rail. Now, I've got a few videos on the channel of this one if you look at the playlist from the beta. Honestly, it's a really nice playthrough game. My problem with Hoyoverse is that I don't know if this game is going to have endgame or if it's going to be more of a PvE casual type thing like they've said Genshin is essentially going to be. So I really loved the playthrough from the beta, but that was very limited time. And as a turn-based game, it's presented so well. But for me, turn-based games, if they don't have PvP and they don't have a real solid endgame, I'm going to drop them super quick. So this one I'll definitely play when it comes out because it's a lot of fun. The story's really cool if you enjoy that sort of stuff. The turn-based combat's really nice. But yeah, my main concern with this one is going to be endgame. If it has has endgame, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic one in my opinion, but we'll have to wait and see what it delivers at the end of the day. Then continuing with Hoyoverse, we have Zenless Zone Zero. Now, I didn't get into the beta for this one. There's a lot of beta footage out there on YouTube that you can find from other creators. It's a roguelike type game with the action RPG style. It looks really good. Once again, it's the Hoyoverse thing of, am I gonna find enough fun in this? I think it's gonna be a great game for a playthrough nonetheless, and story if you like that sort of thing. But yeah, combat looks sick. The game format looks amazing. Like I said, I didn't play it, so I didn't get too deep into it, but from what I see, it looks amazing. Just a matter of how deep they want to go in the game and how much, how much they want to service the game and give it some end game content, because that's what I'm all about. I know other people don't care about that and they just want to play the games. That's cool, but that's what we're looking at with Zenless Zone Zero. Moving on, we have Wuthering Waves. Now, this is another one of those open world action RPG games. Now, for me, those games, the action RPG games, I love playthroughs, and I've discovered through playing a bunch of them over the last 2 years that I love the playthrough. Often I don't enjoy the end game as much, but we'll have to see with this one. They do have this cool thing where you capture the bosses when you defeat them, which is really, really cool. And that could give me a lot of playthrough, especially if they do like a Pokemon style thing and add shiny versions of the boss where you can just keep farming and trying to do it. I would absolutely love that. But in general, Punishing Grey Raven, probably the best action RPG combat. This isn't exactly like Punishing Grey Raven, but it's got that more fluidity. Just Kuro do good combat is what I'm trying to say. And as far as action RPGs go, this one is the one I'm most excited about for pure combat reasons. And then Seven Deadly Sins is the one I'm excited about for IP. So this one's looking really good. We'll have to see how it plays. I definitely think it's another one of those ones going to be a wicked playthrough. Just comes down to the end game and what there is to do to keep you busy over a long period of time. But Wuthering Waves looking really good at this stage. Next up, we have Arknights Enfield. Now, I never played Arknights. I played it for like a day. I'm not a big tower defense fan. I couldn't quite get into it, but they got the anime now. I haven't actually watched it yet, but everyone raves about the story in Arknights, and being able to play that sort of thing and maybe get into that story from a different style of game is what I'm looking forward to with this one. I still don't know too much about this one. I haven't kept my ear right to the ground with it. Not too sure exactly how the combat's going to work. Like, when you see this type of trailer, I don't know if it's going to be an action RPG or if it's going to be, kind of like some of the other games like Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross, where you run around but then you go into turn-based combat. It's hard to tell based off of this, but nonetheless, it's a different style of game from tower defense. Hopefully for me, I know some people just absolutely love tower defense, but you got the normal Arknights for that. So definitely keen to jump into the Arknights IP in a different style of game. And once again, all these open world games, they're getting developed really well. They look beautiful, so keen to give it a shot. Next up, we have Archeland or Archeland. I don't know how we're supposed to say it, but this is one I played a little bit. It launched over in Korea, and it's got like a global Twitter and everything like that, so we'll be coming. It's another grid-based game. There's a few grid-based games coming out that look really quite decent. Animation's really, really smooth. You can play this translated as well. There's like an app, like a third-party thing that you can do to get it translated. It's a bit buggy on translations, but it's not too bad. It's better than trying to play it in full Korean. So if you do want to play it and get an idea for it, you can do that. Me personally, it looks beautiful, but at the end of the day, all these games, it's going to come down to the end game mechanics, because even though animations like this look really nice, at the end of the day, you're probably going to turn these animations off and you're just going to want to punch through it. So it comes down to just combat and end game. I haven't played it enough to get to end game or anything like that, so jury's still out for me, but looks beautiful, really cool IP, really cool characters, and worth a shot when it comes out global. I'm not going to go too hard on a Korean version. Next up, we have another grid-based game, and this one's Argent Twilight. Now, this game is already available for some regions. It's out in Australia as well. So I've actually been playing this one on and off for about a month now. I haven't been grinding too hard because it's not full global yet. But this is another grid-based game. But it's more of a Summoner's War, Epic 7, Raid Shadow Legends style combat, and they've just like added the grid as like an extra dimension in it. I really like this. I think it's really well done. I don't know. That's the best way to explain it. It's a traditional turn-based RPG. You'll have your turn gauges, stuff like that. You got your abilities, but it's just got that one extra layer of the grid. It's not like a pure like traditional grid-based game, but I don't know. I think it works really well. Like I said, I've been playing it on and off for about a month and thoroughly enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to this one coming global. I will definitely make content on it because, like I said, I like that Summoner's War type formula, and this is that just with an extra layer. So definitely keen for this one to go into a full global launch, but you can find an APK for it if you're out of the regions that it is released in, and give it a try now. Just keeping in mind when it does come to global, it will have different servers. Next up is Project Snow. Now, I really like this one. I played in a closed beta where they didn't allow content, so I couldn't show you guys any content from it. But this game is really cool. It's just a new style that we haven't really seen. Like, obviously we got Nikkei now, which has like the Time Crisis type shooting, but this is like a third-person shooter gotcha game where you've also got like ultimate abilities on your characters and stuff like that. It's just like all the action RPGs have been, you know, melee games with, you know, maybe you got a bow or something, but this is like full third-person shooter. You got ultimate abilities. I really liked the little bit that I did play in the beta. So I'm keen to see how they develop this and where it goes. I think there's a lot of potential from where it was in the beta to where it could be. So I'm definitely keen for them to do like a beta where we can make content and I can show you guys some of this because I really like this concept. I thought it was really quite cool. Now, it wasn't open world what I played. It was more of like the Punishing Grey Raven instance type based. But like I said, it's just a really cool bit of a different concept. I like the third person shooter, and then you've got all your ultimate abilities. It works really well and it's pretty well presented. So definitely keen for this one to come out and show you guys some more. Next up is Girls Frontline 2. I believe it's Exile, or Exil something or other. Some websites call it Exile. I'm not sure what it's actually supposed to be. But this game actually looks really cool. It's another grid type game, but like it's a real tactical type combat looking feel, which I really love the look of. Looks like the Girls Frontline, obviously they did Neural Cloud as part of their IP, but this is like the real follow-up game for Girls Frontline. So I think this one's going to be absolutely fantastic. I don't think this trailer actually has any combat to show. I couldn't find the old combat that I'd seen, but they've done really well presented with this. And if I jump over to here, for instance, you can see like the sort of the grid that comes with the combat and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's looking really nice, this game, well presented. Depending on how strategic it is and stuff like that, I think this could be like an absolute hit if it does launch in 2023. So we'll have to wait and see when it does come out. But you know, Girls Frontline, it's just they've just had a really good name in the space with the first Girls Frontline, and it looks like they've put a lot of development into this game. I've been hearing about this game for like 2 or 3 years, I think now, so definitely keen for it to come out and give it a crack. Next up, we have Aether Gazer. Now, this one you can play, you can download it on TapTap and stuff like that. believe it's the Chinese version. This game is really nice. However, for me, I personally prefer the combat of Punishing Grey Raven, and you don't like to just say, you know, it's the same as that, but it feels very much like Punishing Grey Raven with the you know, you go stage to stage to stage, and it's got that action RPG combat. But for me, like I said, I couldn't stay with Punishing Grey Raven because there wasn't enough, like the end game of it didn't feel great. So this game, when it comes out globally, I will definitely play through the story. I'll do a one-off playthrough. I'll probably grind it super hard for like 2 to 3 weeks, but then if there's no end game that really grabs me, that would probably be it for me. But I'm definitely keen to see what they do with development. It was meant to launch in 2022, but they did delay it to 2023, so hopefully they're putting some good development into it, and it does have that end game that I'm looking for in one of these games, but we'll have to wait and see. So that is going to be Aether Gazer. Next up is Eversoul. Now this one's actually got a release date of January 5th, so this one's out pretty soon. This one, I don't think it's gonna, like, you know, take over the gacha world by storm. It just looks like a nice idle game, waifu collector type thing if you're into it. I personally love idle games. They're good casual games where you don't have to grind too much, put too much time in. Now, I don't know all the core mechanics behind this game. Haven't had a chance to get my hands on it or anything like that, but the combat is very idle, and provided, you know, you get good, like, sort of value for your time, where you get good summons, you get a good amount of fun, but you don't have to be sitting there grinding it all day. That's what an idle game's about. As long as it's well presented, which it does look well presented, and has a good gameplay loop, I'm all there for it. Even though you don't have much active combat, I'm cool with that. I'm happy to do team building and do that sort of stuff, and then just let my game play. So that is Eversoul. Like I said, January 5, definitely one I will be playing. It's comes out like 2 days, day after I get back from my holidays. So I'll definitely be playing this one at launch. And then the final one on the list, like I said, hopefully I didn't miss any, but I probably did. But that is going to be Higan Eruthyll. Now, I just went through the beta earlier this month with it. Really nice game, really nice combat. Just all around really fun. Like I just enjoyed this. It just felt refreshing. The art style is really fantastic. I love the combat. I love the active combat where you're dragging abilities, using ultimates. Like it's kind of like Blue Archive combat. I really loved the Blue Archive combat. However, the core systems behind Blue Archive sucked. I feel like this one does it a lot better. It's better presented in combat. You don't have chibis. I'm just really looking forward to this one. I think it's just super well presented and just really fun combat. So can't wait for this one. We don't have an official release date for it. Like I said, we did go through a beta, so hopefully they're ironing out some kinks from the beta, and then we can get it hopefully early next year. But like I said, that is going to be it for the list of games, guys. Once again, sorry if I missed any. Leave it in the comments. I'll put a pinned comment with other games and links to them in case someone brings up some good games that I missed out, which, you know, there is a lot coming out. But as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to be subscribed and leave a comment to go into the draw for the $100 giveaway. But thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.